Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has done a lot for that city since he's been there. He's done commercials. He's turned a whole losing mentality into a winning mentality. That's what Dak Prescott did. And the fact is that people are upset with Dak Prescott because Dak is taking heat for something he shouldn't have did. Only thing Dak shouldn't have done that he did was open his mouth. That's the only thing he did wrong. He opened his mouth. Had he not said anything, he wouldn't be in this situation he's in now. He should have just stayed out of it. That's the only thing I could say for Dak. Dak, you were not going to win this conversation. Why? Because some people has got their brains wrapped around following people, their followers. So whatever people tell them to do, they do. They don't listen to common sense. He shouldn't have spoke out. That was his good nature. And he said, well, what I said made sense. I don't see what people will have. They will just take away everything you said, replace it with a word, call you a coon, and everybody's going to run around with it. He's a coon. He's a coon. Oh, duh. He's a coon. I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. Duh. So that's all they're going to take away from it. You're not going to win because of social media. That is what they're going to do. Everything he said made sense. What's the next move? That's all he said. Let's do, okay, we got the awareness. Everybody know what we're doing. Now, what's the next move? They don't want to make the next move. They want to sit here and continuously go back and forth fighting the NFL over flags. Talking about, it's not about the flag. It's not about the flag or the anthem. We want to bring attention. So when you got that situation going for you, keep saying it's not about the flag. We just want to bring attention to the flag. And I mean, bring attention to the police brutality over African Americans. That's what you said y'all want to do. Then Wesley Griffin, I see you. Slim Cannon, I see you. But that's what y'all said. That's what we wanted to do. We want to bring attention and get that attention going. So y'all got all this attention and nothing's happening. No one's talking about police brutality. You know what people still talking about? Man, did you hear what the flag words really was? Man, did you hear what the anthem is? Man, I wouldn't stand for that either. I'm like, those words have been replaced for years. You've heard the national anthem 1,000 times. Have you ever heard those lyrics? No. So what are you even talking about? Stop letting people turn you and turn your boat towards the rocks. They just guiding you to the rocks and say, okay, here he goes. I watch them crash into this rock and keep distracting. Meanwhile, ain't nobody talking about the cops no more. Ain't nobody talking about them shooting innocent black people no more. It's just letting it go. Now y'all want to tie all this up to Cap and make Cap the catalyst. Cap is the reason why Cap is in this boat. Y'all forgot after the season was over, Cap said he was going to stand for the flag the very next season, right? Did y'all forget that? Last year when he came back, he was like, yo, I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand now. I felt we brought enough of thing so he could go and play for an NFL team. Why everybody forgot about that, huh? Y'all forgot? Y'all forget about that? They covered that up real quick, didn't they? See how they pick and choose? Everybody forgot that Cap said he wasn't sitting no more. He wasn't taking a knee no more, that he was standing. How can everybody forget that? Because he wanted to go and play for an NFL team. He was done with it. Because this was never his goal. My point is, you're not doing anything about awareness to police brutality against unarmed blacks. You're not bringing attention to that. You're bringing attention and you're fighting the NFL over flags and anthems. That's what it comes down to. You're fighting for the right to be taking a knee in front of the flag and the anthem when that was not even the case. The NFL wasn't the one out there shooting unarmed teenagers, black innocent teenagers. The police weren't, I mean, the NFL weren't doing that. Police were doing that. Yet and still, you are more concerned about the NFL than the doggone police department. Lomo said, "Oh, it's bigger than the flag. This thing is bigger than Nico Brown." It was never supposed to be about the flag. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't in nobody's chat. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. So the Dak situation was a misunderstanding, right? That what y'all gonna say. That's what y'all gonna say. It was a misunderstanding. What the whole answer to the problem was simple, didn't it? Didn't I come up with the answer to it? Very simple. The simplicity of it is you need to be focused on the actual problem. The actual problem is police killing unarmed blacks. All you black entertainers, black athletes in the NFL, Colin Kaepernick should have got all you guys together, held a press conference, and ESPN would have shown up. Fox News would have shown up. CNN would have shown up. Every news channel would have shown up. Y'all have the longest offseason in history. Everybody would have shown up to that press conference, and you could have made that press conference bringing awareness to this situation. But you cannot use someone else's platform and decide that's what you want to do. It don't work that way. If you're gonna start a revolution, then start a revolution. But you can't be getting paid by the people you trying to do it to. So you can't expect the NFL to pay you to go against them. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And for people to fall in love in line with that just shows your level of ignorance that they have you in. They have you in a box that you don't even know what in the world you're fighting against. The problem is police are unchecked. They're unwatched. When people are unwatched, they can do unearthly things. They tucking people behind restaurants of dark alleys, telling them to park somewhere where they know cameras are not there, so they can violate them and violate their rights as human beings. And then there's no one to see it. It should be state law in every state, every city in this world that has a police officer. If they're on active duty, they should all wear body cam. And if they're covering their body cam, doing an arrest, doing a pullover stop, they will be automatically suspended. You know what that's done? Before all of these shootings were happening, States have already had problems with these, some cities in California. Crime was reduced by over 60% on unarmed, I mean, other people of color. 60%, because since they changed and went to the body cams. So the body cams worked. I spoke about this when all of this was going on years ago, 2 years ago. Spoke about it, saying this is what the I did the research, I studied, I watched the movements, I saw what people were doing, and I said, this is what's going on. This is where the focus needs to be. Now, why isn't you hearing NFL players talk about that? Why aren't you hearing the athletes talk about that? No, they want to battle the NFL. We what you call it? The NFL won't, man. We ain't standing for that flag, man. And it ain't about the flag. It ain't about that anthem. It's about unarmed blacks being killed by police officers. But what are you? What is the next step? You guys are not made the next step, and it's been 2 years. Body cams do work, and it's instead of you running your mouth, Lomo, why don't you go do the research? And you've seen since body cams is on, they can't turn off the body cams. They thought they could. One guy covered it and thought he blocked out the sound was still going on. You can't do that. That's a violation. That's what I'm saying. Everywhere it is, that is an automatic suspension. So believe me, they're not touching the body cams like you think they are. 60% drop. And in the area that this happened in, it was in California, it was mostly Hispanic people that the police were beating on and treating and mistreating. They had too many cases against the police department that they went to body cams, and it reduced the crimes down with police officers on suspects. It was down 60%. Body cams are working. That's why most police department and states started using body cams. In the past 2 years, more states and more cities have started to go to body cam. You see, you guys are not focused on the real news. You're focused on the distraction. And that's why you don't know what's going on. People like myself and others are fighting to get more body cams put in these areas where there's high urban people. I've been fighting with Ohio to do that. I'm signing the petitions. I'm not even from Ohio, but I know Ohio is the number one state where unarmed blacks are being shot and killed by police officers. They're fighting. They don't want the body cam because they know what that means. That's going to reduce them breaking the law. People do the worst damage when they feel they're not being watched. It's not just that too. We're gonna have to do a whole. They're gonna have to retrain all these police officers because these other police officers around this United States of America seem to have the same attitude against people of color. So that needs to be addressed. Don't y'all think? Well, I can't for the life of me understand why people don't get it. It's very simple to me. It's in black and white. The news is there. You on the internet right now. Look it up. Look it up and you'll find out what's going on. It's very simple. Look it up. Look it up. Prove me to be a liar. Prove the king to be a liar. Tell me who has presented a solution? Tell me that. Who has presented a solution? And oh yeah, I'm live on 2 channels. I multitask, baby. Smash ball, I see you. And everybody on the other channel, you can go ahead and hit the super chat if you feel. Show some love to the page. I understand. They still working on this one. We get it in. We do what we do. Because I do what I want to do. Cino run this all the time, man. He'll be all right. Body cams are working. We also have to look at retraining the police department. Their training procedures must be wrong. So they need to open the books, and we got to go in there, and all these police officers need to be retrained. See, you got to make actual change, actual difference in what's going on. You know, when those kids out there in Parkland, like I told you, those kids in Parkland, when that whole shooting went down, right? What did those kids do when Fox News and everybody else was talking about them being fake and trying to push an agenda? What did they do? They got together and they went out to the sponsors of the show. They went out to the sponsors. And what did they do? They took away that money. They was like, we got all these people with us, and we're gonna go against your products if you spending money supporting that show. And what did those sponsors do? They pulled out. Then Fox apologized. Why? Because they thought they used they used their mind. They weren't out there just yelling. Yeah, yeah, we got our signs. Give us our freedom. They're not doing all that craziness. They're out there trying to make change the right way. Now let's come to the table. Let's get things right. That's what I'm saying. So anybody blaming Dak Prescott for speaking his mind, the man don't have to do what you want him to do. He don't have to stand for the flag or whatever. I mean, he don't have to sit because you want him to sit. Then they say, well, the fans, they don't sit down. The fans are paying their money to be there. Why would they have to do any of this? They don't have to participate if they don't want to. They paid their money. As long as they don't vandalize the place, the fans can do what they want. They're paying their money to be there. You are getting paid to be there. So you are on the clock. So you're at work. And if at work people stand for the pledge of allegiance and the flag out of respect that your boss who pays you your check says this is what you have to do, guess what? Get it over with. But if they ain't gonna say you can do whatever you want on the job, where do they do that at? People like, well, it ain't the same. You can't compare your job to this job. Why not? It's a job. The NBA is a job. They're owned by a team. They have a team owner. They're part of a league. There are rules, Smokey. There are rules here, Smokey. Rules. Speaking of that, it's time for Lebowski. It's the Big Lebowski's 20th anniversary. No, he didn't do nothing wrong, man. It's ridiculous. There it is, Big Lebowski. I need showtimes because it's back at the theater. Okay, well, where is it playing? I want, there you go, movie times. Give me the movie times. I don't need the detail of what the Big Lebowski is. I know what it is. Oh, is it not playing out here? What are they doing? Oh, man, I'm disgusted with this.